Mary here, still on our adventure heading from Indiana to Texas, to our land in Texas. And I wanted to do a really quick video about a place that we stayed last night. So we have some RV parks that we typically stay at almost every time we make this trek from Indiana to Texas or back. But this time, the one that we stay at near Benton, Arkansas, didn't have any availability for us. So we had to find something different. Called a couple of places, they were all full. Called another place, they had an opening, so we took it sight unseen, okay? But I just wanted to let you know about it. We spent the night there, we had no issues, but I just wanted to kind of let you know what it was in case it's something that you find yourself that you're considering. So the campground is in Hope, Arkansas, and you may not know this, but Hope, Arkansas is the birthplace of former President Bill Clinton. So there you go, a little bit of trivia. But anyway, it's called the Hope Inn and RV Resort, or it's also listed on the map as the Hope Village Inn and RV Resort. So I'm going to start with the positives. Great location, super convenient, right off the interstate, easy off, easy right back on. That was amazing. Another positive is that they do have full hookup, so water, sewage, electric, and they did have 50-30 amp. We are military, as you know, so they did give us a military discount. So for us, it was just $40 a night, which is not bad, especially in a pinch when you're trying to stop someplace for the evening. And let's see, the sites are fully cemented, which is very handy, and they do have pull-throughs, which was great as well. So those are the pluses. Now I'm going to talk about the negatives, just so if you find yourself in this situation and you might need a place to stop, I just want you to know what you might be getting before you get there. So the first thing I will tell you is that it is not well marked. It's, like I said, super close to the interstate, so you take the exit, you turn right, and you know it's right there because you can see sort of the where you're supposed to be going on your GPS. But it's not well marked, and you really just kind of pull into this sort of parking lot sort of thing. And then you notice this large, old and very dilapidated motel on your left. That's actually the inn. I wouldn't even say that most of those rooms are inhabitable, just so you know, some of the windows are boarded up. But there are people that are staying there, cars are parked there, so okay. When you pull up, I went into the lobby of the inn because I wasn't sure where to check in. And sure enough, that's where you check in for the camping and for the inn. Very, very nice lady behind the desk. She's also the lady that I talked to on the phone, so she was amazing. She really was great. Talked with her, got my paid, everything paid. I did have to fill out a form to stay there, and just so you all know, I didn't give them all the information they asked for, and they didn't question it. So there you go. I didn't give them my license number. I didn't give them my truck's driver or my truck tag number. I didn't give them my birth. You know what I mean? I didn't give them a lot of information they asked for. I just didn't think it was necessary. So when we were finished with that part, she said, the pull-through sites are in the middle of the campground. She said, pick any site you want except site 15 and 16. Not a problem. So we drove back there, super easy, no big deal. We saw sites 15, 16, so we thought we would take 14. That left one space between us and another RV. We pulled into 14. Sadly, when we tried to put our, what's that thing called? Oh, our surge protector.
Always use the surge protector first.
Always plug the surge protector first before
Turn
you
the power
ever
on.
put your RV on, right? Everybody, hopefully you know that, but if you don't, that's really important. So we always plug our surge protector in first, turn the power on. Wait for the surge protector to tell us it's now safe. Then we know we can plug our RV into it whenever we want. But in this particular instance, the 50 amp did not work. So
Didn't try to be open. We didn't try the 30 amp or the 110s.
no, we didn't do anything. We just figured if the 50's not working, we're not going to roll those dice. So we decided we were going to move. Like I said, 15 and 16, which they told us not to use, were to our right. So we decided just to move over one site to number 13. So we backed out. That wasn't a problem either. We just backed straight out of that site, backed up enough for Phil to pull in to site number 13. Oh, by the way, before we went over to 13, we did take the surge protector over there to test it to make sure it worked, because that would have been really frustrating if we hadn't. So we went over, we double checked that the surge protector was fine on 13. So then we did the backup, pulled into 13. No problem getting in there. It was really very level. We didn't have any issues getting leveled. But I will tell you that the sites are close together. So as I mentioned, we had initially left a space between us and the RV that was already there. This put us right next to them. It wasn't a problem. They're just really close together, just so you know. There is some grassy space between, but they're pretty tight. They're not tight. They're close. You're cozy with your neighbors. We were only spending one night here. We're actually only about 2.5 hours from our land when we stopped, but we sort of have this unwritten policy. It's really more mine than his. But anyway, that, you know what, we don't need to drive after dark. There's just no reason for it. So it was getting close to dark because, you know, in the winter months, it gets dark at 5 o'clock in the evening. So we decided we were going to stop. We weren't going to push on through and go to the land. So that's why we stayed there. But because of that, we only put 2 of our slides out. We put our bedroom slide out just so we have more mobility up there. And then we put our living room slide just so we can sit and relax in the evening. It did still give us access to our refrigerator, our microwave, all the things we needed, our TV for the evening. So spent the evening, had no problems whatsoever. Got up this morning, we dumped our tanks, we unhooked everything, and now we're out and on the road. The reason why I'm sharing this video with you is that because of the surroundings and just the overall condition of this particular campground, some people might not feel safe there. We were fine. We had no issues. Nobody bothered us. Nobody had any problems. But you can tell it is a campground that primarily people are living in, or maybe transient people like ourselves. I mention this because if you go to their website, when you see them on the GPS map, it will say they are big rig friendly, they are this, they can do all these things, which they absolutely can. But depending on how big your rig is and how concerned you are about those things, this might not be a place that you want to stop. I would also go on to say that typically when I see some place called a resort as opposed to a campground, in my mind, that elevates the status of where we're staying. I'm actually willing to pay a little bit more for a resort because I feel like it has amenities. This particular instance, and this is probably one of the first instances in our nearly 4 years of traveling, that we went to some place called a resort, and I would absolutely say that was a stretch. That was not a resort. There are no showers. There are no bathrooms. There are no amenities. The dumpster where we put our trash, which was a very small bag of trash, was overflowing with trash. So anyway, I just wanted you to know we were fine. We were perfectly safe. We had no issues. For what we needed it for, it served our purpose without any problems. But if you're traveling on Interstate 30 and you're going between Texarkana and Little Rock and you find yourself needing a place to stay, I just want you to know what you'd be getting if you choose the Hope Inn and RV Resort. So there's a little update from Phil and Mary. I did not bother to take any video at the campground. I think that kind of speaks for itself. But we're now heading west on Interstate 30. We're heading towards Hendrick Home off the highway. And we hope to have a really exciting video to share with you in just a few hours. Well, okay, to be honest, we're gonna record the video in a few hours. You may not see it for a week, but anyway, we're excited to be back on the road and heading out again. Sorry it's been so long since you've seen us, but you know, it was a pretty it was just a pretty, you know, meh kind of fall, you know, hanging out, doing our thing in southern Indiana. But I've already done videos on those campgrounds, so it didn't really need to have an update. But we're back, we're here, we're having fun, we're living our best lives. And oh, by the way, this guy right here, today is his official last day of being employed. He is retired officially as of midnight tonight, and starting tomorrow I will have a list of new jobs for him to do, because he's really not unemployed. He just is going to a job with a different boss, that would be me, and one where he's not getting paid to do it. So congrats to the retiree over here, and hopefully that means that we'll be able to spend a lot more time on the road. Have a great day. Happy, oh, as always, we're Hendrick Home on the highway, and we'll see you down the road. Okay, this is kind of like those movies where you think the movie's over and then something else comes when they're rolling the credits. So you thought we were finished, but we weren't. One other thing I do want to mention about the Hope Inn and RV Resort is that you are right by the interstate. So you will hear interstate noise all night. That doesn't bother us a whole lot. Other campgrounds that we've stayed at are like that, but I did want to make you aware of that. It isn't going to be a quiet, serene place to stay. It's a little noisy with the interstate traffic, but you know, just wanted you to know that. All right, that's it. I promise this time we're really saying goodbye. See ya.